Do video games influence violence? This documentary will look at how video games affect young people's minds. But the real question is, do video games influence violence? Or is it something else entirely? We are going to look at the different violent video games and why people are going to jail for this reason.
Here we can see a news report about an 8-year-old boy killing his 90-year-old grandmother in a fit of rage after she told him to stop playing GTA 4. In this news report, it is said that a 8-year-old boy was playing GTA 4 for quite some time. His grandmother wanted him to stop playing so he could enjoy some time away from playing video games. But after playing so much of the game, he ended up going into a fit of rage. And after she turned off his console, he ended up killing her by shooting her in the back of the head.
So, Connor, do you play video games? And if so, what are they? Are they violent?
Yes, I do play many violent video games.
Do you think that game ratings are important? For instance, PEGI 7, PEGI 5?
Absolutely. Game ratings are needed to keep kids in line when they need to understand that the game is over their age.
Why do you think parents let kids play games that are rated above their ages?
That I do not know. Maybe it's because they feel like their kids will grow up to resent them because they didn't let them have their own way. Or maybe it's because they want to make sure that their kids have the same experience as they did as a kid. So that way, they broke the rules, they did whatever they wanted to, but they have adult supervision. That's what they need to learn to do. Do you play video games? If so, what and are they violent?
I don't play any video games. I have a busy, hectic lifestyle and don't play any video games. If I'm completely honest, I sometimes play Wii Sports Resort with my kids.
Do you think that game age ratings are useful or important?
Yeah, same as the way that age ratings on videos are.
Why do you think parents let their kids play video games rated above their ages?
Oh, they probably want to be nice to their kids and let their kids experience lots of different things. Want to be the cool parents. However, some of them probably either don't understand the PEGI ratings and just think, well, it's a video game, it don't matter. We used to play Pac-Man in our day, so there's nothing wrong with that. So I think perhaps parents don't fully understand what's going on in a lot of these things. And you get parents that don't give a damn. Like my parents when I was 8 years old watching Evil Dead. So, not that they didn't give a damn, but perhaps didn't understand what the ratings meant or what the ratings were and what the content is, because parents don't actually play these things, so they're not aware of the content and stuff like GTA, which is, you can beat prostitutes to death. 10-year-old kids shouldn't even be knowing what a prostitute and what beating a prostitute to death is. Parents shouldn't do that, and they should be made aware. There should perhaps be more education. Perhaps there should be more, the government maybe should do more when it comes to educating parents about graphic content in video games.
So this is obviously a game called Manhunt, and the purpose of this is killing for points, and the more sort of gory your kills are, the more points you get. Obviously this is a very, very violent game with a lot of graphic content and themes such as impalement and stabbing and all that. I know it's been banned in a lot of countries, Australia being one of them, and it's quite understandable why, because as you can see, even at this moment, you have people being strangled by things like barbed wire and sharp objects and then bleeding profusely from their wounds. Overall, I think this game could spark the sort of violence that you might hear about in the news. Although it seems very unlikely because of the surrealism of it and like how someone would get all these weapons. Having played this game, could you give us the name and the sort of themes that you might expect from it?
This is Lego The Hobbit.
It is obviously based around the film series of the same name. And the themes that you could expect are kind of violence, but more fantasy and more story than violence.
If you had the power to give it an age rating, what kind of age rating would you give it and why?
I'd probably give it a 3, seeing as this game is based around more for kids. And if kids play this at a younger age instead of older, they could learn to appreciate it more and have more fun.
I'd stick with 7. I'd give it a 7.
Okay. From the gameplay that you've witnessed and played from, would you say that any violence can be taken into the real world from this? Like, do you think kids could be inspired to go around and start hitting people just because it's sort of funny to them based off of the game?
Possibly, I'm not sure. It depends on the child, really. But what I personally think, if this kid plays too much of this game, they could possibly be influenced.
Based on kids being mostly kind of impressionable, would you feel like the violence from this game, if there is any at all, that it could be taken into the real world and might result in actual physical violence?
I don't think so, no. Because when it comes to Lego games, there isn't really much violence. There isn't really much violence that can influence